Alrighty, so we're here to talk about X's and unknowns and all sorts of other exciting things here today, and that's algebra. Okay, so we're all about algebra today and what algebra is and why it's really important for us to get a solid understanding. Algebra comes up over and over and over again. You really need to get a solid understanding of what it is and how we can use it to really provide some mathematical tools that we're going to need further down the track. Algebra is where we assign a symbol, often a letter. Okay, so X is a very common one, where you assign a symbol to an unknown value. Now, that can represent a pattern or just a specific unknown. We'll deal with the separation between those two later on. But by having an understanding of algebra and being able to manipulate values that aren't known at this point in time, we have the power to do two things which are really, really important. The first one's a really basic, sort of most obvious one. It allows us to find or to solve an unknown value. So an example would be of that style of problem. You and your mates go to the local survey, you buy 4 slushies. Okay, so you've got the money, you fork out the $20 to buy you and your 3 friends slushies. It costs you $17. You want to know how much does each of your friends pay, and because you're pretty tight, you want them to pay in decimal. Okay, so you want them to pay a decimal amount so you're not out of pocket at all. So in this situation, I've already pre-done this one, but you've got 4 slushies equals $17. Divide both sides by 4, and we've got the slushies are 4.25. So each of your friends owes you $4.25. That's an example of finding an unknown value, using an equation with algebra. Okay, pretty valuable there. Obviously a pretty rudimentary sort of problem. We could probably do that in our head if we really tried, but as we go further down and as we deal with more complicated equations, you won't be able to do that in your head. So if you were asked to find the square root of 17, for example, I'm going to guess that most of us couldn't do that. So just be very clear that yes, this is, for now, it's probably easy enough to do in our head, but as we go further down the track, it won't be that way. So it's important we get a really good understanding. The second thing that algebra allows us to do is to predict an unknown future value. Okay, so if we know that we've got a relationship between two things, we can predict when something will happen, okay, and that can be really valuable in business, in engineering, in all sorts of fields. So I've just given us an example that's pretty topical right now, the price of oil. Okay, so the price of fuel is currently $1.12. It's dropping at $0.015 per day, which is 1.5 cents. What will be the cost of fuel in 10 days' time? So in that situation, we've got it's a y equals mx plus c. For those of us who are super aware, I'm just going to let the price of fuel equal p. Negative 0.15, sorry. It's negative because the price is decreasing by 10 days plus our original amount, $1.12, which becomes negative 0.15 plus 1.12, which gives us 0.97 or 97 cents per litre. Okay.